Hello, everyone. I just wanted to hop on again. Godless Engineers doing a live show right now on the three Mormons and Kolob. Uh, Technically, I am still Mormon, okay? I don't have anything against the LDS Church. I just don't. Hi, Godless. I don't have anything against them. I have nothing bad to say against them. I just don't believe anymore. So, okay, so Kolob. Um, I was told that it was a star, but apparently it's kind of murky. I don't know a whole lot about it, and it is. Godless Engineer is trying to say that it's essential to Mormon theology. Um, that is not the case. Um, we There's one song in the hymn book, "If We Could Hide a Kolob," and that's about it. Um, there's not like there are some um, mentions of it in the Doctrine and Covenants, but it's not. It is in no way essential to Mormon theology. It's just something that's out there. And God does not live on it. It's more like a star or a planet. Again, it's murky. A star or a planet that is closest to God. So, so that's what they believe. And like I said, I'm not blaming Godless Engineer at all because he's not nor ever has been Mormon. And technically, I still am Mormon. And as a Mormon, as still technically a Mormon, I can tell you that Kolob isn't really important. Not really. It's just, it's like, just something that's part of the um, overall theology, and it doesn't really make much of a difference one way or another. So I just wanted to hop on and say that. Godless, it is an interesting read. Um, the Book of Mormon starts out in Jerusalem, and of course, it's not true, just like the Bible isn't true. But basically, the Book of Mormon starts out with in Jerusalem, and God comes to one of his prophets named Lehi. And Lehi is highly favored of God. And God says, "Look, I'm going to destroy Jerusalem. So you and your family have to, um, unless you want to be destroyed along with Jerusalem, um, you need to go where I tell you to go." Um, so Lehi takes his wife and his four sons, and his four sons are Laman, Lemuel, Nephi, and Sam. And he takes uh, he and his wife and his four sons, out into the wilderness, the Judean wilderness. And they spend time there. And God decides that if he's going to make himself a new nation from Lehi, that they need what is written on the golden plates. And the golden plates are like the commands of God. So he tells his sons to go back to Jerusalem and get the golden plates from a guy named Laban. And Laban, so they go back. Laban says, "No, I'm not going to give them to you. And you're trying to rob me." So they're pretty. Laban, Lemuel, and Sam are like, "Okay, well, we tried, but it's not like he's given them to us. So we're just going to go back to our father and say, we tried, but we didn't get anywhere." So Nephi says, "Well, wait a minute. We left all of our stuff in our house, and we got plenty of gold and plenty of silver. And so why don't we try to buy the plates from Laban?" So they go and get their stuff and go back to Laban. And Laban still won't give the golden plates to Lehi's sons. So okay, Godless. Anyway, that's a long, drawn out story, and I'm not going to go into it, but at the end, they do get the golden plates. They go back to their father, Lehi, in the wilderness. And then God comes to Lehi again and says, "Your sons need wives." So Lehi's sons go back to Jerusalem, and they find a guy in Jerusalem named Ishmael. And Ishmael says, "Yeah, you can marry my daughters." So Ishmael and his wife and the daughters of Ishmael go with Lehi's sons out into the wilderness. And so they stay in the wilderness for a few years. And during their time in the wilderness, Lehi's wife bears two more sons, Jacob and Joseph. And so they go across the waters to the promised land, which is America. And that's really gets into a lot of stuff. Lehi, okay, Laman and Lemuel are wicked. And Nephi is doing his best to keep his family on course. But Lehi, their father, is protecting Nephi. Well, Lehi dies. And Nephi's like, "You know what? They're going to kill me. And I don't want to be killed. So anybody who wants to come with me is welcome to come with me. And we're just going to leave and go somewhere else." And so, so Nephi, Sam, Jacob, Joseph, and Sam's and Nephi's families all leave so that Laman and Lemuel can do whatever they want. and uh, and they go somewhere else. So this is where we get into the Lamanites and the Nephites, and the Lamanites hate the Nephites because the Lamanites say that that Nephi tried to overtake the rule that rightfully belonged to the older brothers. And so it's like a blood war, I guess you could say. So anyway, a lot of crap happens. And then there's a lot of wars and stuff like that. There's a lot of prophets and all that good stuff. Then Jesus is born in Jerusalem, and the sign they have that the Christ has been born is that there's 3 days of daylight. And so so it finally comes, the sign finally comes, and the Nephites are rejoicing. And then comes the sign of his death, and the sign of his death is 3 days of darkness. So of course people are moaning and groaning because, you know, the Jews killed the Messiah. So anyway, Jesus comes over to America and ministers to the Nephites and the Lamanites, and it's pretty peaceful at this time. The Lamanites aren't trying to kill the Nephites, and nobody's trying to kill anybody, and it's pretty peaceful, and it stays that way for 2 generations, and then all hell breaks loose, and at the end, there's a guy named Moroni who is the last of the prophets of the Nephites, and he hides the brass plates, which, according to Mormonism, Joseph Smith found. Well, Moroni doesn't know what's happened to his people. He thinks he's the last of his people, and we never do figure out whether or not he's the last of his people or not. We just don't know. It doesn't tell us. So anyway, that's basically what the Book of Mormon is. So it's not as dry as the Bible, Godless Galaxy. Yes, he came over and preached. Well, that's what they believe. They believe he came over and preached to the Native Americans, but it's a lot more in depth than that. You're going to have to read the book because there's more than when, according to the book, when Lehi came over with his family, there were already people here. So then you've got those people, and then you've got the Lamanites, and then you've got the Nephites, and so it's more complicated than I'm making it out to be. But come on, Callie, lay down. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, I did not see that he had a new video out, and I'm signed up to get notifications from his channel. Thank you, YouTube, for screwing up notifications. Anyway, Godless, I'm gonna go now. You have a wonderful night. and I'll talk to you later. Bye.